Good afternoon and welcome. Herzlich willkommen. Hartelijk welcome to our community meeting today.
And the plus is that we're now focusing on connecting Europe to our regions, connecting regions. This combination will be the main aspect in this Wunderline Community Plus meeting.
I would like to underline the strong support we have here in Bremen for our project, the Wunderline.
And everywhere I go, as a minister of the province of Groningen, I meet a lot of excitement when it comes to the Wunderline. And I hope very much that today will show you why we are so excited when it comes to the Wunderline project.
Indeed, the project is not only about traffic, it's about tourism and many forms of cooperation. And it's first of all and foremost, it's a truly European project. And it's the only European rail network project without borders.
Thank you very much, Irina and Jan. Do you hear me well? Okay, yes, great. So, it's fantastic to be here with you, Mr. Lindner. Good to see you, and also happy that Fleur, Graeber and Mr. Meijer could, from their side, give a short message. Look, it's relatively easy to speak here to this community in a way that we have had a Green Deal declared in December 2019, a new sustainable and smart mobility strategy in December 20, and in December 21 there will be a new TEN-T proposal, and in December 22 there will be a multimodal digital mobility services proposal.
The main point, the most interesting point of this project is that it's a truly European project. And it's the only European rail network project without borders.
We really hope that Niedersachsen and Groningen will adhere to it by building it, because the first thing you need, as you say, Wim, is the infrastructure, otherwise there is no service possible. So the Friesenbrücke needs to be there, the electrification needs to be there. Then, of course, you need services and ticketing. You have been doing that with your chain mobility, but we will also propose from our side MAAS as an obligation in these urban nodes. And we come with the ticketing because our young students who are perhaps having a beer in the Three Sisters or whatever it was called, the pub, then they still would like very easily to book also their tickets and be able to travel across Europe, not having those difficulties if you want to travel cross-border that we now face, which are horrendous.
We are working also as Wunderline on innovation, and mainly, of course, this is done by the two organizations, as I should say, working in the field, realizing our cross-border railway line, ProRail and Deutsche Bahn. We now have two experts on the field of innovation, and from the German Bahn we have Mr. Pfeiffer, Janek Pfeiffer, and we have Peter Lautenbach from ProRail.
Yes. Hello everybody, and thank you for inviting me. As far as I know, we are up to schedule. They are currently doing the approval planning, so 3 sections of the Wunderline are being prepared for handover to the authorities. One of these sections, I think, is going to be handed over this year even, and the the two other sections are going to follow shortly.
The first phase, it's already mentioned by Mrs. Graeber, and it's about the fast train to Winschoten. We have to do some things in 2022, in February and May, and then that's realized. Then also we have a second phase with the highest speed between Nieuweschans and the border, and that is planned, and I have to check my notes because I want to say it right. That's planned in 2023. And we're also working on the third phase, and that's a double track between Scheemda and Winschoten. And that's not already planned for realization, but we are working on it for the processing with people living around those tracks.
The ambition should be higher. I mean, the German part of the Wunderline is already electrified. And it would be logical to continue that electrification, in particular if we would like to see many more people taking that train or many more goods using that line. at a certain point, there comes let's say, a calculation point where the electrification will become with a positive cost benefit. And we are in the European side, here in the Commission, of course aware that in certain cases the cost benefit will not be positive, but we would wish to see that the Wunderline, which is a cross-border one, would be so successful that you could have electrification. So it is not excluding it, and I think it can be a very good development, and we are co-funding hydrogen, and in particular green hydrogen in Groningen ourselves from the Commission side. But in the longer run, I would be happy to use those green hydrogen for lines which are having a lower cost benefit, or for instance for industrial purposes.
Do you think the Wunderline does enough for the region, for a community like Oldambt?
Absolutely, I'm sure that it will give our total region a boost because it's easier to go from Groningen to Bremen with lots of stops in between, and I'm sure that it will improve the economic power in that area, and it's very good that we work together to try to get this ready with each other.
The Wunderline, to my feeling, shall be electrified because we also want to achieve a modal shift to rail. More people using that rail connection, and also more freight using that rail connection. And at a certain point in time, you have a positive cost benefit to impose electrification.
Now the connection Wunderline Wirtschaft. The Wunderline is above all a railway connection. What's the reason for you as a Chamber of Commerce, that is companies and small-sized enterprises and Wirtschaft, to support the Wunderline?
Für uns ist die Wunderline halt ja jetzt schon seit quasi über einem Jahrzehnt ein ganz wichtiges Thema, weil es uns natürlich darum geht, unsere beiden Länder besser miteinander zu verbinden. Und wir versprechen uns natürlich für unsere eigene Region auch einfach eine bessere und schnellere Bahnanbindung, nicht nur Richtung die Niederlande, sondern die Wunderline erstreckt sich ja über Oldenburg nach Bremen und im Grunde genommen ja eigentlich weiter nach Hamburg, Kopenhagen und wo auch sonst immer noch im Osten von uns. Und das ist für uns als IHK immer der Punkt gewesen, warum wir gesagt haben, wir machen da mit. Ich habe im Moment noch ein ganz besonderes Eigeninteresse. Meine Tochter studiert in England, und wenn sie jetzt an Weihnachten mit dem Zug zurückkommt, wie die jungen Leute das hier jetzt machen, fahre ich dann mit dem Auto nach Groningen, um sie da abzuholen. Eigentlich wäre sie ja mit der Bahn dann bis nach Emmen durchgekommen. Aber da kann man halt eben auch sehen, wie wichtig auch diese Zugverbindung auch für die Menschen in unserer Region ist und eben nicht nur für die Wirtschaft.
Eine kritische Frage jetzt. Sie sind jetzt noch als CDU in der Regierung. Und ich würde sagen, dann ist es immer einfach, um Interessen zu vertreten. Weil Sie sind CDU, Regierung ist CDU, das passt wohl. Für die Niederlande mal, weil die Deutschen wissen das natürlich alle, zurzeit wird gearbeitet an eine neue Koalition. Ampel, ein Stopplicht of een Verkehrslichtkoalition, sozusagen mit Rot, SPD, Gelb, Liberalen und Grün, die Grünen. Wie ist dann Ihre Rolle in der Opposition? Können Sie dann noch viel bewirken, was betrifft die regionale oder vielleicht auch die Wunderline-Interessen in Berlin über die Bühne zu bringen?
Ich musste etwas lächeln, weil auch wenn Sie Mitglied einer Partei sind, die die Regierung stellt, heißt das nicht, dass automatisch alles so passiert, wie man sich das wünscht. Das heißt auch eigene Minister. Wir hatten in Sachen Wunderline sehr, sehr viel zum Beispiel zu tun mit dem Verkehrsminister Andreas Scheuer, aber auch mit dem Finanzminister Olaf Scholz, die übrigens aus 2 anderen Parteien kommen.
What are the main conclusions of this meeting for you?
Well, I learned a lot again. I think first is that we are on the right track with the Wunderline. I think we have a good governance, we have the planning on track, we have, I think, a right project with our chain mobility if you look at the European goals. And I'm very proud of our German-Dutch team, which can deal with all the challenges on the way. Second, I think we have learned that the future of the core comprehensive network will be combined. So we have more ambition, as Harold Ruiter said. We need more ambition. so for as well for electrification as for seeing Wunderline as a part of the European network. And I think we heard we need more support for from our governments, the national governments, for financing, especially building step 2.
Mr. Schau, it's the first time attending the Wunderline Community. How was it for you? What will you take home?
Yes, vielen Dank. Für mich war es total spannend zu sehen und zum ersten Mal hautnah mitzuerleben, welche große Erwartungen da in den ganzen verschiedenen Politik- und Aufgabenbereichen der Region und der Bevölkerung mit der Wunderline verbunden sind und wie facettenreich auch diese ganze Zusammenarbeit, die ich ja hier auch an meinem Schreibtisch hier so schon miterlebt habe, sich in der Praxis gestaltet. Also es sind so viele kleine Bausteine, die zusammengefügt werden müssen, um das große Ganze irgendwann hoffentlich bald ins Rollen zu bekommen und zu einem schönen Abschluss zu bringen. Und das habe ich heute die ganze Veranstaltung über auch durch diese vielen engagierten und auch enthusiastischen Beiträge nochmal hautnah miterleben können. Und das war für mich besonders spannend zu sehen. Und wir werden ja alles dazu beitragen und dafür haben wir ja hier in Niedersachsen auch ein kleines Team gebildet, um das ganze Projekt mit unseren Kräften oder nach unseren besten Kräften zu unterstützen. Und das werden wir gerne heute nochmal als zusätzliche Motivation mitnehmen für unsere tägliche Arbeit.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being in this Wunderline Community Plus Connecting Europe, Connecting Regions meeting. It was great to have you with us. It was great thanks to all the speakers, to all the contributions, to knowing that we should be more ambitious, that we have all kind of future challenges. It was very nice. And thank you, audience, listeners, etc., for all your remarks, your critical questions, your input, which will be collected by us.